What's next for you, Jai? What are you looking at?
We're looking at the WBC. You know, I've been told that there's trying to get a deal over the line with Noel, so we're pushing forward, and I'm staying patient till get that confirmed. You know, there's a few outside noise or things outside of it, but I'm ready, man. You know, I've been chasing these fucking undisputed fights for such a long time. So,
well, all right then, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it for yourself. We got ourselves a Jai Opetaia update alert. If y'all been wondering what's happening with Jai Opetaia, what's his next move, who's gonna be his next opponent, following him becoming Zuffa, world champion, cruiserweight world champion, beating Brandon Glatton, holding the IBF Ring Magazine title at the same time, before being stripped of the IBF title following that fight with Brandon Glanton. The IBF didn't like the way they were treated, didn't like the way they were represented, and decided to pull sanctioning from the fight. He says that he's been told Zuffa is currently trying to get him a fight set up with Noel Mikaelian, the WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the world. And the first thing that comes to my head with all these Zuffa boxers who have plans on fighting and competing under the sanctioning body still, trying to win a sanctioning body title is, will they comply? Do you guys remember January 26th, Mauricio Sullivan comes out about 3 days after Zuffa #1. Mauricio Sullivan comes out and says that he would be willing to put on a fight with Noel Mikaelian, saying that he has a voluntary defense, and if he wants to fight Jai Opetaia in a unification fight, I'm down to do that. Was even bringing up, you know, everything that Dana White was saying, not complying with the sanctioning bodies, not wanting to deal with them. And still said that he would be down to set up that fight only if Zuffa were willing to put on this event under the WBC and IBF rules.
The picture, but absolutely, if they want to promote boxing on the regular basis, of course they are welcome, and the WBC will support them. They are the ones who have come forward and said, we will not work with the organization, we will have our own belt. Why that animosity? Well, that's the way they want to do, but now it's a double standard, and it's an incongruence to what they have said. If they're going to do Opetaia, who is IBF champion, and then I saw the picture with Noel. Noel has a voluntary defense open, so of course he can do a fight with Opetaia. We will welcome that, but they have to do it under the WC rules and the IBF rules, of course.
Solomon said, yeah, he'll do it, even understanding that Jai Opetaia was signed to Zuffa. Now, following that to this day right now, you've seen Zuffa 2 press conference, you've seen Zuffa 3 post press conference, you've seen Zuffa 4 post press conference, you've seen all these post press conferences of Dana White ridiculing, absolutely just demolishing Mauricio Sullivan, saying that he's the greatest PR and that he's doing all the work for Zuffa boxing. The decisions that he's making, you know, he highlighted everything that went down with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson not wanting to pay his sanctioning fees for defending his WBO Ring Magazine title. The WBC still wanted a part because Shakur Stevenson has that name. Dana White came out and just absolutely hashed the whole sport of boxing, just lashed out on them. So the question is Mauricio Sullivan going to comply now? The good news is Mauricio Sullivan in the last month has done some interviews where he explained that he's still willing to work with Zuffa, but as long as it's under the WBC rules. When Mauricio Sullivan said that he was down for this back in January 26th, he said that he would be down for the unification fight. as long as it's under the WBC and IBF rules. Now, the IBF isn't involved. You've seen their stance on this whole situation. So I sat to myself and said, wow, is the WBC going to do the same exact thing as the IBF and follow their sanctioning? Friend, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. You know, we heard the announcement of Ryan Garcia saying he's going to fight against Conor Benn. Conor Benn is in Zuffa. Ryan Garcia, the WBC welterweight champion of the world. So if that's true, then we know they're complying. The thing is, I don't know if Jai Opetaia is going to be able to fight on a numbered event against Noel. I think they've learned that if you're fighting for a Zuffa world title on, let's just say, and defending the Zuffa cruiserweight title on a numbered event, Zuffa number 10 or something like that, and you have everything Zuffa'd out, you don't have any WBC, IBF, nothing, not even on the canvas, nothing, not promoting them at all, then the WBC might not go through with it. They might say, the hell with this. We're going to go just like the IBF did. So I don't know if they're still going to be able to make that move with Jai Opetaia. We're just going to have to wait and see if Jai Opetaia from now on is going to be fighting on these Ring Magazine type cards, rather than fighting and defending his Zuffa cruiserweight title. We're going to have to see if the WBC is down to comply with still the Zuffa cruiserweight title being on the line. Very important, interesting fact there. We're going to have to see and wait. How does Dana White feel about this? Are they willing to put the Zuffa cruiserweight title to the side, or are Mauricio Sullivan and Dana White going to come together and agree to terms between the both of them to all have their titles on the line and promote the sanctioning bodies rather than de-promoting them? It's interesting stuff, bro. Now, Jai Opetaia makes a comment about David Benavidez and his performance against Zuro Ramirez. Check this out.
Obviously, the big one is David Benavidez. What did you make of his win over Zurdo?
Man, Zurdo made him look a lot better than, you know, don't get me wrong, bro, Benavidez is a great fighter. But fuck. Fuck. You know, but it is what it is. You know, any of those boys want to have a crack, but I'm ready.
Yeah, the Mexican monster against the Australian monster. That's a crazy fight.
Let's make it happen. I'm ready. I'm waiting for the phone call.
How would you, not to give anything away because the fight could happen sooner than later, but how would you see a fight between you and Benavidez going? Would it be toe-to-toe battle?
I don't know. He's never fought no one like me. You know what I mean? He bashed the shit out of this guy that just stood right in front of him. You know what I mean? Like, well, let's just see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens. Let's sign the contract. Let's go.
He just said, if you didn't hear correctly, my goodness, I know David Benavidez is going to respond to this and be heated. He just said that Zuro Ramirez, an old man, made David Benavidez look a lot better than what he actually is. He said Zuro, the Howl, just stood right in front of him to be hit. I don't know how good David Benavidez is. He's never been in the ring with somebody like me. Not Anthony Yard. Not David Morrell. Not Goschek. Not Zuro Ramirez. Not Caleb Plant. Not David Lemoine. None of these dudes. Not a single one of them. Not Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. None of them are in the skill level as me, Jai Opetaia. Bro, he's downplaying the victory that he had against Zuro Ramirez. And let's be honest, Zuro was talking about retirement. He said he had 1 or 2 fights left in him after this fight with David Benavidez. Does he have a point here? My goodness. I don't agree with Jai Opetaia's take, but it sure is a crucial one. A shot that he's taking at David the Mexican Monster Benavidez. He says sign the contract. That if he really wanted to fight me, the fight would be so easy to make. I'm still chasing undisputed. He says he still doesn't have hatred for the IBF, as he still has plans on becoming an undisputed champion. I'm still going to work with him in the future. Jai Opetaia is in a pickle here. You know, he's in a goddamn bad position here, because Zuffa does say that they're looking to set up that fight with Noel. But what happens if the WBC doesn't agree? He says he wants fights with David the Mexican Monster Benavidez. And you already know David's stance. And what happens if the WBC doesn't comply? Jai's going to have to get the hell out of there, bro. If that's the case. But we're going to have to see how things play out. Let me know what you guys think. It's absolutely breaking news. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel. It's your boy Alex. I'm out.